Welcome back to the Content Factory podcast. Very special guest today. One of my clients, Gerardo.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, excited to have you on. Excited to dive deep. This is our first time meeting in person. So kind of tell us a little bit about who you are and like kind of where you grew up and a little bit about yourself.
Of course, yeah. No, I grew up in Silicon Valley during the tech bubble. Technically, I was a kid. I was playing with those orange, big, clunky Macs. It was orange, by the way. You know, they don't really make computers like that anymore. But you know, just trying things, getting on the internet at a young age, trying out programs like I don't know, the '90s kids will know KidPix. It was like a early weird version of Photoshop. Yeah. But yeah, back then, just like internet, Silicon Valley. I was, 5 years old at the time during the dot-com bubble. My dad was like dabbling in stocks here and there. Yeah. So I got, a little bit of that energy, I think. I like to think I got some of that, and that's why I'm now in tech and / finance. But no, I mean, I grew up there. We eventually moved to Stockton, which isn't really nice. Might have heard of it. It's infamous. Okay. Like where Nate Diaz is from. Okay. It's rough out there. Yeah. So we went from just imagine that going from like Silicon Valley, really nice, being a little too expensive. Then we move over to Stockton, and clearly my parents didn't want to be there for too long, so we eventually moved out of there, and it's been quite a ride from childhood to not really having much to kind of making myself known out there in all sorts of spaces. I mean, a lot of entrepreneurial ups and downs, as you probably are very familiar with. Yeah. So kind of give me a little bit of a background. So I've heard you are pretty good at math. Yeah, so I've always been naturally good at math and physics, and it led me to being a math tutor, and that's how I made a lot of my money as like a teenager and in university where I studied physics, engineering, math. I flip-flopped majors because I didn't really know what I was going for, to be completely honest, in university. The skills have served me well, I will say, because I had the natural ability and then I honed those in, kind of rounded myself out educationally in university, which is really nice. Even though I'm not using the degree technically for what I do now, I think the skills and how it shapes you is arguably way more valuable than the degree itself. What you learn, who you meet. Makes sense. Who you become. And so is that what led you into entrepreneurship? I got into entrepreneurship. What year was it, man? I must have been 21, it says. I must have been like early 20s for sure. Getting into Bitcoin when it was, hitting 20K for the first time in 2017. Around the time I was also looking at fitness entrepreneurship, those guys training, because I was in pretty good shape at the time. So I was like, I could train other guys, and I did that for a minute. But the real passion turned out to be more so, again, the core math, and obviously finances is fascinating to me. Around the time, 2017, Bitcoin's hitting 20K for the first time, and everyone's super hyped about this new thing called cryptocurrency that no one really knew about, except like the real mega nerds. And I dabbled in sales a little bit, dabbled in marketing, graphic design. Like it's similar to university, just kind of flip-flopping around until I find my my core skills, strengths, passions, niches. Kind of give me a little bit of background on like your knowledge on social media, sales, graphic design, like ads, like how you got into that space, and what was that like? So shortly after buying crypto, buying some Bitcoin at around 10K, buying some Ethereum at around $300 back in 2018, I started looking for other ways to make money other than just sitting around and waiting for the price of something to go up. And like I said, I was in pretty decent shape at the time, learning a lot about fitness, actually from our friend Greg Gallagher. He gave me that initial foundation to really just like get strong, get lean, and just kind of live your best life, not the traditional strict bodybuilder lifestyle. You know what I mean? So so that was awesome, and I got into that space for a bit. Fitness Instagram was popping off. I learned how to grow a following on Instagram. Just like I said, skill acquisition. Learn how to market myself. Learn how to get in shape. Learning about crypto at the time, and just all sorts of. That was my self-improvement era, I would call it, even though self-improvement is, a never-ending journey. I would say that's where it, it really, it was hot. Right? The iron was hot.
Yeah, got it. And so you bought Bitcoin at 10K, and you bought Ethereum at 300. Do you still have those?
Yeah, I bought Bitcoin at around 10K. I bought Ethereum at around $300 back in 2017. I don't hold all of those coins. I actually converted a decent amount of that into HEX when it launched in 2019. And that has served me very, very well in the past few years. Even though it's gone down plenty in the last 2-3 years, let's just say this, it went up 10,000x and then went down 100x.
Got it.
Volatility by definition, right?
Yeah, so you bought X at what price point? And kind of talk a little bit about that and what HEX is. Actually, what is HEX?
So HEX is the infamous cryptocurrency founded by Richard Hart. And he also has 2 newer projects now, Pulsechain and Pulsechain. We can get into that. But HEX is just your basic ERC20 token that on Ethereum that you can buy and sell, send it, just like any other token. And it has a single feature where you can lock it up for a specified length of time, and you get more HEX. That's literally it.
Interesting.
It's just a token that inflates, prints more of itself, but the only people who get that inflation, that extra supply, are the people who lock up their coins. So it's a pretty simple idea, but HEX really, I almost want to say, birthed the whole DeFi wave of 2020 and 2021. They were early. I mean, HEX was the first coin to really popularize Uniswap, the decentralized exchange on Ethereum. It was one of the first coins who was very honest, the founder, about its functions, that it's just really meant to accrue value and go up in price. And he was really transparent in the sense that, he just was honest. That's what people are looking for in a crypto. They might say they're looking for tech or this or that. And to be fair, a lot of that stuff is true, but the majority of people are seeing it as an investment vehicle, as a vehicle to make more money on their money. So it was innovative for its time. I think it stood the test of time because it went up so much and it's still up from the lows. Right? I bought HEX around, the first time I bought it was at 0.001. I bought most of it under a penny. And then we saw it go to 50 pennies in 2021, and now it's back at a penny. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah, so then you created a YouTube channel from that, and kind of talk about the community that you built there.
Yeah, so I have to get in the real mindset. So after I bought HEX that cheap and saw it go up about 10x, I saw my portfolio just at a zero, pretty much. I decided that it was a good idea to teach other people about what it did, how it served me, the chart, where I thought it was going, just because I was talking my friends' ears off all the time, family and friends, about how great it was and what it was going to do and all of this stuff, and Uniswap, Ethereum, crypto, all of this HEX. And I thought, what, why not just tell the world? And if friends and family want to tune in, well, there you go, there's my YouTube channel. And I made a whole stats site on it. I did a lot of technical analysis and charting on where I thought it could go. And the reason I really decided to launch the YouTube channel around it was because it seemed like such a good time. All of the technical indicators were just looking so good. It was above its 20-week moving average. It was finding horizontal support. It was finding trend line support. And all of these support metrics were converging all at once. And I thought, I need to get people into this because it served me so well. It added a zero to my bank account, and I think to my portfolio, and I think it's going to go up even more. I truly did, and it did. I started making my HEX YouTube videos at around 1.5 pennies, I believe. HEX was April 2021, and in the months after that, it went all the way up to 50 cents. So people made a lot of money watching my channel and watching other creators' channels on HEX.
Wow. Amazing. God, I wish I was watching it. Cool. And so, kind of talk about how you were one of the youngest creators in the space. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so a lot of the content creators in HEX were older. For some reason, it attracted that demographic. Maybe it's because the narrative of HEX at the time was it's the first certificate of deposit on the blockchain, your first yield-bearing instrument where, money isn't just cash. There are bonds, there are certificates of deposits, there are all sorts of financial instruments, if you will, and Hex really took that market share of that narrative of DeFi for the first time in crypto, where you have this basic functionality that it gives you more coins on your coins. And I think that's probably why it got this demographic of older folks who even know what a certificate of deposit was. And I still believe that the majority of, I guess, Hex enthusiasts, if you will, investors, are generally on the older side. And I was one of the youngest creators on the coin talking about it. There were a few that I want to give my shout outs to, like Balia Brand he's another young Hex influencer. And there was another guy, he went by Look Into Crypto, and he actually donated lookintohex.com as a domain to me, which I did really well with in launching that site. But yeah, I was one of the youngest creators in the Hex space, and I think I still am, although now Pulsechain, being another creation of Richard Hart, is an entire ecosystem. It's an entire chain. It's not just a coin. Therefore, now you definitely have young creators coming into the whole Pulsechain Hex Richard Hart ecosystem, if you will.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Did you talk about Richard Hart followed you and promoted your site?
After I launched lookintohex.com and it got some traction, my YouTube channel got some traction. I broke a few thousand subs, ultimately made it to 10K subs. Wow. And then one day Richard Hart tweeted, lookintohex.com, cool charts, because there were unique charts. I had ROI from launch, which is a really cool one. I had ROI from the bottom. Wait, do I have ROI from the bottom on the site? It's been a while since we've updated the site, and there are like dozens of charts on there. And it's evolved over time as well. The charts that were there back then aren't the same ones that are there now. It's kind of been refined over time. But yeah, Richard Hart, he found Look Into Hex. He thought the charts were cool, just like I did, because again, what was the point of Hex was to accrue value and go up. And so ROI, return on investment, is a very, very important metric. And so having an ROI from launch, comparing Hex to ETH to BTC, again, the chart normalized to each respective launch date, so they all kind of start at the same point, and then just show their history, all normalized from the same point, and that can really show you which coins outperformed relative to their own birth to now, so to speak. And so that was a really cool chart. Richard Hart saw that, he liked it, he tweeted about it. I saw the traffic on my site spike, and I was like, what's that from? Oh, it's the classic Richard Hart tweets about you, traffic spike, awesome. And that was fun, and then he followed me, and I at one point interviewed him in a short conference that Matty Allen did, the Hex conference that he does every year online. And it was cool. I mean, huge respect for the guy. It's mutual respect. We still follow each other to this day, and I've made it a mission to promote Hex and add value to his projects because they've added value to my life.
Beautiful. And then can you get into what PLS Punks are, NFT?
Right. So PLS Punks was my first NFT project on Ethereum. At the time, Richard had already been talking about launching a new chain, a copy of Ethereum, Pulsechain. And I thought, well, the NFT hype was strong, as you may remember back in 2021, where celebrities were buying NFTs for millions of dollars. And we can get into the whole, like, what an NFT is and the value of, where does the value come from? But PLS Punks was my first NFT project, and I launched it on Ethereum. It was a simple profile picture collection of 16 NFTs. Each of them was pulse gradients and cool little accessories. I launched it on OpenSea because I didn't really know any better at the time. I was new to it. And also, it was a way to kind of break into the NFT space because I saw that the huge potential and the huge volume that was going through the NFT space. And Richard Hart was actually not a fan of NFTs. He still isn't a huge fan of NFTs. So it was my way of going slightly against the grain of what the community was embracing at the time, because it was still crypto, and I saw a huge potential when Pulsechain was to come along. It's going to be an entire ecosystem, an entire chain. Of course there are going to be NFTs, there's going to be other coins. We really went from being a single coin community, just a Hex-based community, to being a multifaceted community now with an entire chain.
Yeah, yeah.
So PLS Punks did well, launched it on Ethereum. I sold out, I believe 14 to 15 out of the 16.
Yeah.
For 1 Ethereum each near the peak. And those punks actually got forked over to Pulsechain, redeployed those with a V2. So all of those holders who bought PLS Punks on Ethereum have it on Ethereum, and they have a V1 punk on Pulsechain and a V2 punk on Pulsechain. Yeah. So I've been showing them love for sure.
Yeah, wow.
And they got a Mintra punk as well.
Yeah. So do you think NFTs are going to make a comeback?
Yeah, I've been asked this question a lot. Are NFTs coming back? As the founder of an NFT marketplace, I am of course very biased, and I hope they do make a comeback, especially on Pulsechain, because we haven't seen the same type of hype that Ethereum saw with NFTs. We haven't even seen it on Ethereum, again, let alone on a new chain. There are plenty of amazing artists on Pulsechain, on Ethereum as well, and honestly, a lot of artists that don't even know about crypto and probably should. I really hope NFTs make a comeback, especially on Pulsechain, because gas is cheap there. You're not paying $100, $200, $300 to mint an NFT or to swap tokens. It's ridiculous. Yeah. On Pulsechain, it's literally pennies. It's like the good old days. Back when I remember I was staking Hex and it would just cost a penny. And it was beautiful. And now to unstake, some stakes cost upwards of $1,000 sometimes. Yeah. So hopefully you're in profit on the Hex, otherwise you're kind of fried there. And that was the whole point of Pulsechain, was cheap gas, saving Hex users, it ended up not only saving Hex users from crazy end stake fees, but it ended up saving kind of everyone. Because you have everything you own on Ethereum. If you owned it before May 11th of 2023, you own it on Pulsechain as well.
Got it.
ERC20 tokens, NFTs, it's all there. Yeah. It's all there. So I would love to see NFTs make a comeback on Pulsechain with cheap gas, and artists come get paid. Yeah. Because I've seen plenty of artists come over to Pulsechain, get blown away by the amount of engagement they get, by the amount of NFTs they can sell out, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. And then let's go into Mintra. Yeah. So can you kind of tell me what Mintra is?
Mintra is one of, if not the best NFT marketplaces on Pulsechain. Incredibly featureful, robust infrastructure. It's fast, it's snappy. We just had an update today, which I'm super proud of the dev team for working tirelessly for months to get this out. Yeah, Mintra launched in October of 2023. It hosts any NFT you can think of. If you had it on Ethereum and it's on Pulsechain, where do you even view it, right? You go on Mintra, type in the name, or just paste the collection address, or just just connect with your wallet, check your portfolio, and there they are. You can trade NFTs on there, you can mint your own collections. We've seen over 850 uniquely deployed collections just on our launchpad alone. Yeah. Mintra as a whole, through minting and through secondary sales on the marketplace, has seen over 3 billion pulls of volume, which at current price is about $500,000 of volume. Yeah. Which again, it's early days, because back in the hype of Ethereum NFT cycle in 2021, that could have been a single NFT sale, $500,000. Yeah. And Mintra, my entire marketplace, has only seen that in the months it's been live. Yeah. So I still think it's early days, although it is an impressive number for an early chain, I like to think. But yeah, I'd like to see it grow. I'd like to see more artists, again, make money, get paid, sell your NFTs, mint them out, cheap gas, and just showcase your art.
Yeah. So what is like the chapter 2 of Mintra?
Mintra chapter 2 begins today. Yeah. We launched our new marketplace contracts. All of the feedback that we got at launch back in October, we fixed all the issues. There were some, and it wasn't catastrophic issues where we're like, oh no, your contract is hacked. It was more so small decisions we had taken, such as when you list an NFT for sale, it gets escrowed, locked in the contract until you unlist it or until there's a sale. Yeah. Well, that kind of broke some of the cultural aspects of NFTs, such as airdrops, where you go to check. Everyone who owns this NFT, I'm going to airdrop you something, a new NFT or some tokens or something. But if your NFT is listed for sale on Mintra, well, technically the Mintra NFT marketplace contract owns it for the time being, right? So it's like in this limbo state. So those people wouldn't get their airdrops, and multi-marketplace listings wouldn't work, because if you listed on Mintra for sale, you wouldn't have been able to list it on any other Pulsechain NFT marketplace because it's not in your wallet anymore. Yeah. So that's all fixed. Mintra Chapter 2 begins today. New marketplace contract, new features, no more locks on your NFTs. Multi-marketplace listings now work.
Airdrop ease. Maybe?
It's easy to airdrop NFT holders now if they're selling on Mintra. We have timed sales, we have auctions, again, we have a launch pad. It's all just getting better.
Yeah, amazing. And then, so the Mint token has, so I'm just going to read these up. I don't know how to ask you these questions.
All good.
The Mint token has a $500 million market cap across.
5 million.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. 5 million market cap across nearly 3,500 unique holders. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Right. So there were originally about 3,000 supporters of the Mint token, and that's grown to a little over 3,400 last I checked. So the Mint holder token count is growing. Last I checked, which was earlier this morning, the Mint token market cap is a roughly $5 million market cap token. So not huge, not small, just sweet spot, I think, for the time being. And it's effectively an affiliate marketing program on chain, and I can explain, because if you have the Mint token, you can stake it in our staking contract, and you immediately get 1/3 of all the volume that goes through Mintra. So of that 3.4 billion pulse that's gone through Mintra, there's a small fee taken for any given sale, for any given mint. The sale is, or the fee is 2.25%. A third of that is distributed to Mint stakers. A third of that is distributed to the Mint buy and burn, which directly buys the Mint token on the market and burns it, and a third goes to the Mint treasury. So Mint stakers are effectively affiliates, whether they know it or not. If they promote the site, if they make sales, they get PLS. All on chain, all automatic. Wow, it's wonderful.
So then you've given away Mintra Punk NFTs to all the Mintra holders?
So when Mintra launched, we airdropped Mintra Punks to everyone who had supported for the launch of the Mint token. So technically at launch, every single Mint holder received a Mintra Punk, and then we also airdropped them to other NFT holders of prominent NFT collections on Pulsechain and from the community. Yeah,
gotcha. Is there anything that you want to cover on the Mintra side of things as well too? You want to look at your notes as well? Is there? Sure. Yeah. Is there anything that you want me specifically to ask you? You're probably sitting about 12 reels right there. Yeah.
I thought you were about to say 12 minutes. I was like, no way we just.
That would have been wild. It was sitting here for 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. Is there anything you?
I mean, yeah, just the rest of wherever you left off. Okay. Where now it's time to make it fun. Time to collaborate with more artists, expand into different industries.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of like Mintra's a blank slate.
Okay. Yeah. So let's go into it. So so kind of start off what you said with now that Mintra's more fun. Yeah.
Now that Mintra has been rigorously developed over the last 1.5 years, tested, audited, etc., gotten feedback at launch, both positive and negative, and now all of those issues have been addressed. Now Mintra's kind of a blank slate. The infrastructure is laid out. We can pivot quickly to cool new features, and it's really, at the end of the day, about the creators, the artists, the people launching their NFTs, because without that, what are you? You're just dumb pipes.
Right.
Like social media, right? It's nothing without people, all of these sites. People and their art. And I mean, you've seen the advent of AI lately, AI art. It's going absolutely crazy.
Right.
So that's a whole sector, a whole direction to pivot with Mintra. There's different industries that we can pivot into. Music being one that's really interesting to me lately. People launching their beats or their music as NFTs, or just doing things normally as they do in the real world, selling their merch if they want. Maybe you paste an address, a Pulsechain address, and you get an NFT. So you can go both ways. Right. But the music industry, just getting artists onto Pulsechain, I think should be the main mission right now. Yeah. Low fees, they can make their money. Most don't even know that they could be getting paid as much as they can be getting paid in crypto in general. Yeah. I mean, shout out to Lo-Fi Dreams. I've been working with him on a cool little project for Mintra lately, and he's been minting out on Pulsechain. Yeah. Like every single time he launches a mint for some NFTs. Super talented artist, by the way. Right. He mints out, and he gets huge support. And compared to say like Solana or Ethereum, he's shown screenshots of the impressions and the engagement on Pulsechain, and it just blows everything out of the water. Our community's insane. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So who are you collaborating with? Did you already talk about that? Lo-Fi Dreams. So right now, Mintra is collaborating with. We've been collaborating with Profit Originals for a while now. He's made all of the cool promo that you may have seen on social media with 3D animations, this and that. We're also working on something else with him, with Lo-Fi Dreams. I would love to give the platform and the stage to a lot of these already existing artists on there. Shout out to the Staker class, Hex Punks, Mana, Pulse Punks. I mean, the list goes on. Yeah, beautiful. And then, so you want to give a shout out to your dev team? Shout out to my dev team, to the Mintra dev team, we've built this team over the last year and a half. They're incredibly talented. Our back-end guys, our front-end guys, our DevOps guys, our lead, they're all amazing. Beautiful. And then, so kind of talk about what crypto in the future, and like what I already asked you this off camera, like what your predictions are, and like kind of talk about like what you see happening in the crypto marketplace. So Bitcoin just crossed its all-time high of $68,997. Yeah, it was like yesterday. I think it was 69. Literally yesterday, it reached $69,000 and change. Yeah. Ethereum, as usual, usually takes a little while to catch up, and has not reached its all-time highs of $4,800 or something, almost $5,000. It's sitting at, I think, $3,800, $3,900 last I checked. So Ethereum usually lags. Again, it's not guaranteed that it'll go to its all-time highs, but if you look at what's happened in previous cycles, it usually lags and then does the same thing. So it's off from its highs. I can easily see Ethereum reaching $10,000 plus in the next few years, Bitcoin reaching $100,000 plus in the next few years, assuming nothing catastrophic happens to the economy. Or even then, oftentimes you see Bitcoin and crypto be a hedge against the dollar. So there are a lot of factors at play, whether it's Fed interest rates, whether it's geopolitics, or you know, so many different things that can cause economic domino effects that we can't really predict all the time. Right. But I can definitely see Bitcoin reaching 100K plus, Ethereum reaching 10K plus. Usually that carries the rest of the market with it because those are the highest liquidity coins, and people like to degen, they like to gamble, they like to take the money they made on Bitcoin and then move it into ETH, and then take that money and gamble on coins on ETH, or same with Pulsechain, right, or Solana. You've seen there was a dog coin on Solana that just did crazy numbers. Why is it always the dog coins? I don't know. But it's it's a fascinating thing to see culturally, economically, tech-wise. I mean, they are cryptographic assets. So it's this interesting culmination of humanity, crypto. I think it's here to stay. I think it's a better money than traditional fiat money. I can start that over. I think crypto is a better money than traditional fiat money because it has more culture, it has better uptime, it has better price performance. Your US dollar has only gone down over the last 100 years. Our great-grandparents bought houses for a bushel of grapes, like 5K, 10K, and now it's upwards of $1 million just to get a normal home in a lot of these places. So crypto is a better money. It performs better. It's more malleable. You can program it. It's just better. And so if I'm like a long-time investor, right? So for me, wise, I've been holding a little bit of Bitcoin for a little bit. And so what coins should I invest in for long-term? It's not financial advice. It's not financial advice, guys. Highly biased. I love Pulsechain.
Yeah.
I love Hex, PulseX,
Okay.
even Inc, the incentive token of the Richard Hart ecosystem.
Yeah.
I'm also biased to say I love the Mint token. And if you really don't want to get into any of these niche tokens, I mean, Ethereum's a good bet.
Yeah.
Honestly, even Bitcoin's a good bet.
Yeah.
Like it depends on your risk tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
If you already have hundreds of millions, billions of dollars, you probably don't want to go speculate to try to 10x, 100x your money.
Yeah.
You're more so in wealth preservation mode.
Yeah.
That's truly it. Or if you're a young dude with in your 20s or whatever, and you have the time and you are able to risk more, and you only have $5,000-$10,000 to your name, maybe less, then you are probably looking for something to add a zero, add 2 zeros to that portfolio, add 3 zeros. I mean, what did Hex do? If you bought the lows and sold the highs, you added 4 zeros.
Yeah.
That's insane. Some people turned $1 into $10,000 per dollar.
Yeah,
so it really depends on your risk tolerance, but Bitcoin is good, Ethereum's good. I like Pulsechain, I like PulseX, Hex on both chains. I like Incentive Token, I like Mintra.
Yeah, yeah. So the Bitcoin halving? Yeah. Okay. So the Bitcoin halving is happening April 19th. Let me say that again.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Bitcoin halving is happening April 19th. You're in about a little bit more than a month. What are your predictions on what's going to happen? Is it going to go up, down? What are your thoughts?
When it comes to crypto price predictions, I'm a fan of long-term thinking, just because when you zoom out, it becomes much more easy to see the patterns.
Yeah.
When you zoom into the daily chart, weekly, monthly, it becomes much more difficult. There's less patterns, if you will. So leading into the halving, most people who are in the know would have expected the run-up we're seeing now.
Yeah.
However, again, which is why I like long-term thinking a little more with crypto, is because no one expected us to tap all-time highs on Bitcoin before the halving, because that's never happened before.
Yeah.
Similar to when we dipped to 15K back in, I don't even know at this point, it's been a while. This cycle's low.
Yeah.
When we dipped to 15K on Bitcoin, most people didn't expect it to go beneath the $20,000 all-time high, because we'd never done that before either.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin always likes to do things it's never done before, which makes predicting short-term movement very difficult, nearly impossible. So up leading into the halving, I could not tell you exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I could tell you in the next 2, 3, 4 years, it'll probably be 100K plus.
Yeah. But what do you think is going to happen?
What do I think is going to happen leading into the halving? I could see 70K Bitcoin, 80K.
You don't think it's going to go to like 100K?
Just a fun prediction? Ooh.
Yeah.
Oof. That would throw everyone off guard.
Yeah.
I would not have expected that.
Yeah.
If anything, maybe Bitcoin needs to cool off from what it's done right now.
Yeah.
To 69K, the fact that we're even talking about it is also a good indicator.
Yeah.
I've learned to use myself as an indicator sometimes too.
Right,
if I'm telling everyone, yo, but I just made so much today, like everything's up, I'm like, wait, this is bad.
Yeah.
The fact that I want to tell people,
Right.
the fact that you want to tell people is a sign. Here's another fun one.
Yeah, so if you're saying if people are talking about Bitcoin, like if it's all over the internet, that's the time to get out.
If your Uber driver is telling you to buy Bitcoin.
If your Uber driver says, okay, hold on, let's look this one in. So, how should I put it? So when is a good time to get out of Bitcoin?
If your grandma and your Uber driver are both telling you to buy Bitcoin, that means everyone already bought for the cycle.
Yeah.
That means there's no one left to buy your bags and pump the price more. That means you're nearing a top. Get out.
Oh, get out now. Got it. Okay.
I mean, it's a general rule of thumb.
Sure.
Here's another one. Another great indicator to know when to get out of crypto is, not a lot of people know this one, the Coinbase ranking on the App Store.
Oh, okay. Ooh, this is a good hack. Okay, yeah.
Both previous cycles,
Yeah.
when Coinbase reached #1 app on the App Store,
Yeah.
was near or at the Bitcoin top.
Wait, say that again?
One of the best ways to know when to get out of Bitcoin
Yeah.
is to see the ranking of the Coinbase app on the App Store. Most people don't know this, but the last 2 cycles, when Coinbase reached #1 ranking on the App Store, the Apple App Store, maybe Android too, I don't know, was near or at the top of the Bitcoin price chart for that particular cycle.
Yeah, so that's because everybody's trying to get in and buy it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to get in, everybody's trying to buy on their phone.
Yeah.
There's no one left to buy at that point.
Yeah. Interesting. I like that. That's a good hack. That's a good hack. Okay, cool. Is there anything else that we have about 3 more minutes? Is there anything else you want to cover? You got quite a bit. Those last like 5 were killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because we have to go a little bit broad, so you grow a little bit.
Of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll be a broken record. I'll repeat myself and say I really do think crypto's here to stay.
Yeah.
I think it's the people's money. It has better uptime. It's programmable, better culture, better price performance, just better memes. It has everything that you would want in a money, and it's censorship resistant, which is fundamentally very important, meaning something like Ethereum, you can't turn off as long as there are people running scripts on their computer. As long as you have validators, nodes, which are relatively accessible if you know what you're doing, to run an Ethereum node. Like Mintra has an Ethereum node and a Pulsechain node. And as long as you have nodes, as long as you have validators, validating the network, creating blocks, and they have incentive to do so because they get paid in the coin, well then there you go. You can't turn it off. That's what censorship resistant means. And it's immutable, meaning everything that gets written to a blockchain stays there forever. You can't go back and roll back the chain. It's too expensive. And all the validators will be like, no, you can't do that, and just slash you, and then you start losing your coins. So it's a very robust, well-designed system. So shout out Satoshi Nakamoto for inventing Bitcoin.
You think he's still alive?
No. No, I really don't. No. Legend.
Yeah, legend. All right, man. Well, so that's a wrap for this episode. Gerardo, thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate you flying down to Austin and coming on and being like one of the first guests here at the Content Factory. Hopefully, we'll have you back down here again soon. Always welcome down here to come work and come shoot some content and whatever you need done. So yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So how can people find you?
People can find me. I live on X nowadays. X.com/Gerardog.
Yeah.
GERAWRDOG. But don't follow me. Follow Mintra. It's at Mintra AI on social media, on X. Go check out the app, app.mintra.ai. That's where you can trade your NFTs. If you had Ethereum on Pulsechain, or if you had NFTs on Ethereum, you have them on Pulsechain now. Go mint some new NFTs. Just be part of the conversation, part of the culture. I really think Pulsechain is the fastest growing blockchain right now. The metrics show it. Just crazy engagement on social media. Total value locked in the chain just keeps growing. I mean, I'm there, so if you want to talk to me, come hang out in the Pulsechain ecosystem.
Sick. All right, guys, that's a wrap for the Content Factory podcast. Again, I think that's what we're gonna call this podcast. I mean, it makes sense. But go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.
Subscribe.
Sweet, dude. Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, nice. You probably got. I think I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna estimate 20 to about 22.
Ooh,
yeah, that's what I guess.
That's some content.